Beatles fans, pay attention. Epstein, the man who made the Beatles, is coming to the theatre on the Bay. Joining me in studio are the two actors who act in this play, Nicholas Pauling and Sven Rygrock. They're going to tell us about this. It looks like a very interesting play.
Yes, indeed.
Well, thank you both for coming in and joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Epstein, tell me about when both of you first learned about this man.
Off you go.
Go for it, Sven.
First, I learned about, I suppose, from the script. I didn't know anything about this guy at all. I also was not a huge Beatles fan, to be honest. So all the work and all the information that I got first was all received from the script. Yeah.
Nicholas, are you a Beatles fan?
I wasn't sort of, I'm not anti the Beatles, but I wasn't a fanboy. And I also, I kind of, through research and reading and watching the sort of clips on YouTube is where I kind of got to know more about them and enjoy them more, and that's where, like Sven, I found out more about Brian Epstein, who I really had no idea about before, really, and that's kind of what the play sort of deals with a lot, is this sort of outsider that no one really knows about.
Brian Epstein sounded like quite an interesting guy. What stands out for you most now that you know about Brian Epstein and you're in a play about his life? What's the most shocking thing or the most noteworthy thing that you've learned about him?
Well, he had such a, for me, it's the tiny little, it's just one thing really. I mean, he was gay when it wasn't legal to be gay, Jewish, all these kind of massive things to deal with. But the biggest thing, I think, and the sort of saddest thing, is that there's just this lonely man who has the world right here, but actually doesn't have anything, and that was the most interesting thing for me. Sven, your thoughts?
No, mine is 100%, it's exactly the same.
All right, tell us what we can expect from the play. Of course, we're unpacking the life of Brian Epstein. How are you doing it?
Show by show.
Yep.
Was that a good response? No, look, I think we just have fun every single night, and I think we learn something more about each other and be about the craft that we do and that we love. And I think the way that we unpack it is just by serving the play and telling the truth every single night. And if we do that with authenticity, then I think we're on the right track.
What's your favorite scene in the play as the actors?
I like the scenes when Sven is in the dark and the light's on my face. Those are my favorite scenes.
Yeah, those are the good ones. No,
the best scenes for me are the ones when we get to, because there's a lot of, the play on paper is very sort of, it can come across as very encyclopedic. It's a lot of information, a lot of sort of stuff that I think we've negotiated quite well. But the beauty of the play is it's not just a bunch of facts about the Beatles, it's about this relationship between this young man and this also young man, me. And that's the interesting thing about the play, and that's how we've unpacked the play, and I think that's the interesting part, and that's the most exciting time in the play. Also, Sven plays a song, so that for me is that's awesome. Yeah, that's great.
He really tells me every night how amazing it is. Like, he loves my songs. I sing for him.
He sings a song.
I sing a song.
Do you want to give us a few bars?
No.
Okay.
No thanks. I almost did though.
Yeah, you did almost. I
But
thought you were going for it.
I didn't warm up. Nick, I didn't warm up.
Tell us about the songs that you sing in the play.
Yeah, let's hear this.
Yeah. So there's just one song.
Yeah.
There's one song that this boy sings. It's quite a little bit of a special moment for him, I suppose, because here's this guy who had incredible acts, like Scylla, Jerry and the Pacemakers, the Beatles, and here he gets the opportunity to perform for him, and it's a nerve-wracking moment. This could be the thing where he says, "Wow, I will take you on. You're going to be the next most famous person possible," or, "Actually, kid, you don't have what it takes." So it's quite an important part. And I think I'm going to go back on your question about what was the most amazing thing for me in terms of the play is letting the ball of wool unravel. I think as you go, it just unwinds a little bit more, and you get to see a little bit more of his loneliness. Like Nick said, it's like he's surrounded by so many people, but yet you can be incredibly isolated, and I think you get to see that.
Your character is called This Boy.
Yes.
What does that mean to people who haven't seen the play?
I think that's what's so great, is they're going to come and check it out and see for themselves. And that's what's so nice about this character, is he does not have a name. So he could be anything for anyone. And that's what's exciting. Definitely for me, that's what I find intriguing.
That sounds really interesting. Now, Nicholas.
Yes. Oh dear, what did I do?
That was a poll.
Did I break something? Yes.
What do you hope audiences take away from this play?
I don't know. I think if you talk about sort of, I'm not sure that there's a message so much as in a day and age where celebrity is such a big thing and so easily accessible. This play addresses what it can do to, as Sven says, the people who who seem to have it all and yet have very little. And I think people walk away with hopefully, a picture of what that sort of celebrity can do. I mean, these guys were kids, and in an age where there was very little media. They've taken over the world literally, and yet the guy who's created that is so. My language is usually more colourful. Is so finished and so fragmented. And that's what people walk away with, I think, and see that, because I think people have everyone's felt loneliness before, and here you see that, you're not alone in being alone, I suppose.
Now, we talked about your favorite parts in the play, the most excellent parts, but it looks like, it sounds like there are some darker themes that are explored in the play. What was the hardest scene for you to do?
Sure. It's to be fair, it's quite a hard play from the beginning to end. It's pretty full on. I mean, there are some very funny parts to it. There's obviously a bit of humor. I think that the hardest part is to kind of access the hardest part with any play is to be truthful, actually. So the hardest part is to be truthful to every moment for 90 minutes. So it's
the whole thing is hard.
The whole thing's hard.
But easy to
no,
watch.
but it's fun at the same time. It's a blast,
Yeah.
I don't know. Any thoughts?
No, yeah, we definitely have a blast. We have a blast.
Did you have fun?
I did, Nick. You bring out amazingness in me.
I can
Really?
see by just the two of you being in the play, it's going to be worth watching. You have a nice chemistry.
Yeah.
All right, now it's showing at the Theatre on the Bay until when?
Until the 17th of October.
17th of October, so
Yes.
we can get our tickets at the Theatre on the Bay box
Yes.
office to see you two fine fellows.
Yes.
Thank you
Indeed.
for coming in.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Jennifer.
having
Thank
us.
you for having us.